Now we'll look at a practical example of how the system works. Let's head over to the task section. This can also be called the trucker's view. Here, you can determine the status of the client. It may be unassigned, assigned, or completed. When a mechanic is close enough and available, the system will automatically assign the closest available mechanic, placing him, the driver, in the assigned category. However, if no mechanic is nearby, the trucker task will be put in the unassigned column. This unassigned status will require you, the dispatcher, to manually assign a mechanic to provide the service to the trucker. Let's see how to handle an unassigned situation. Click on the Unassigned tab. Immediately you'll see to the left a blue button giving you the option to assign a mechanic to a trucker. And next to this, we see an overview of the trucker's information, such as the time the request was made, as well as the name and location of the trucker. We'll now click on the arrow next to the name to view the details of the trucker. We find useful information under the Details tab. For example, the task description, the order ID, the payment method, just to name a few. The Customer tab gives us information helpful in contacting the trucker. And lastly, the History tab will give us information such as who created or who has viewed or assigned this task. Keep in mind that we can modify the client's stop or service request at any time. And to do this, we simply need to click on the ellipsis or this set of 3 dots to the right, and a window displaying 5 options will appear. These options are Edit Stop, Export Stop, Delete Stop, Assign Agent, and Change Stop Status. So let's look at those options now. Edit Stop. This option provides the contact's information and general details. We will use this information in assisting the driver to find a mechanic. Also, if we need to use our concierge service, this information will be helpful. We'll explain the concierge service in a following video. We'll now look at the Export Stop. On occasion, we may find the need to download the customer's details, and we can do this in the PDF or CSV format using this Export Stop option. We also may find the need to delete the stop. We can do this using the Delete Stop option. The Assign Agent option allows us to assign a mechanic closest to the driver. And lastly, the Change Stop Status allows to change the driver's status from unassigned to assigned, as well as to complete, and hopefully to successful. We'll take a look now at the map, which allows us to see the trucker's location as well as the mechanic closest to him. Keep in mind that available mechanics will be shown with a green dot. Mechanics that are inactive or unavailable will be seen with a gray dot on the map. Once the mechanic accepts the client's request, we'll be able to see his route as he moves closer to the client, the driver, and we can even follow along, monitoring his movement. Now we'll focus on the agent or mechanic view. You'll notice 3 sections or lists: the free or active list, the list of busy mechanics, as well as the inactive agents or mechanics. As we discussed previously, when a trucker is in need of help, his location will be pointed out on the map. And as we've noted, if a mechanic is nearby and available, he will be automatically assigned to the task. However, if no mechanic is available or nearby, we will need to manually assign one to the trucker. The lists of free and busy and inactive mechanics help us to do just this. In each category, you'll find the contact information of each mechanic. Click on the mechanic's name, and you'll see both his contact data as well as his location on the map. Now let's discuss filters. Let's jump back to the Assign Agent button, the small blue button next to the task under the trucker section. If we click on it, we'll see the small window open, and you'll notice two sections: the default team and the select tags. These are filters, and these are helpful as we assign mechanics closest to the drivers. For instance, in the first filter, you can choose a specific team. We recommend you choose the default team. In the second filter, the Select Tags section, we'll find mechanics grouped by state or city tags. And when you click on this option, you will see how far the closest mechanic in kilometers is to the driver, as well as the location of the mechanic on the map. Let's take a look at an example. We'll click on Indianapolis, and you'll see here we have two mechanics. Depending on the distance from the trucker, choose the best positioned mechanic in the Indianapolis region. After changing the task status from unassigned to assigned, let's submit the request. Last point. If you return to the right section and click on the arrow next to the mechanic's name, you'll see two tabs at the top. Details, which gives you the contact information for the mechanic, as well as Timeline. This gives us details like the moving of the mechanic, stoppage, and traveled. Also, at the very bottom, you can click on the play button and you'll be able to follow along with the mechanic as he heads to the driver. This has been an overview of the dashboard features regarding the dispatcher task of assigning mechanics. In coming videos, we'll review in greater detail specific features of this platform. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.